Motherfucker. This is Platinum versus AEW Dark. I just got done watching it for November 24th, 2020. It is episode 63. It was 2 hours and 45 minutes long, approximately, and 17 fucking matches. And yes, I watched all of it. Yes, I took notes on all of the matches. Yes, I'm very impressed with myself, and yes, you should be as well. I welcome you. Since we're picking up more and more viewers all the time for AEW Dark, I think that's awesome. Um, for me, if you're listening to this for the first time, I have a 3-check system since most of the matches are what you would call enhancement or jobber matches, or my favorite thing to call them, foregone conclusions, when you know who's going to win and you know who's going to lose. I have a grading system with 3 checks. The first check is for if the correct person is put over, and put over in such a way that it defines them as strong or powerful. Did we get their finisher over? Did they show a level of dominance? The second check is if that person who is winning looks great in the process and feels like they have a bit of star power on them, so then they can work on Dynamite. And then the third check is for if the enhancement person, and aka jobber, does a great job or is made to look good by the person that they are wrestling and putting over. For matches that are competitive, and I really consider only maybe one of these matches to be what I would call a competitive match, meaning one where it's not a foregone conclusion of who's going to win. Then they have a 3 checkmark system as well, but it's different. Do all the participants look really good? Does the match have a kind of a good flow and a chemistry about it? That's the second check. And then the third check, is there an angle, or is the person who wins really advancing something that will appear on Dynamite or a pay-per-view? That's important. Now, keep in mind, this was a 2 hour and 45 fucking minute show, which is almost an hour longer than they've ever done. Why was it this long? Because in addition to the record for matches that they had, 17, they also had a full-fledged talk segment, like an interview Piper's Pit kind of show featuring Britt Baker called The Waiting Room. They had a number of promos cut, not that many really, and a lot of the matches, even they were jobber matches, they gave them all time. There were no matches where somebody was just getting hit with one Superman punch and pinned, as has happened in the past on AEW Dark. So let's just jump into this, bitch. First one, Viperous versus Big Swole. I think Viperous did a pretty good job. Big Swole is not the best in ring usually, but she's gotten rid of the dirty dancing, like reverse back fist ripcord strike thing, which I did like a lot. But she's going with this clover leaf with the knee in the back, and in spite of the fact that she's fallen over while doing it before. Big Swole had a good look here, and Viperous, I thought, did a very good job with her. So Big Swole looks dominant, and of course her dancing and kind of overall kind of vibe and attitude is really good. She's not what you would call like championship material, but she's somebody who can have a good match with another prominent woman on Dynamite, and you wouldn't think twice about it. So Viperous does her job here. I'll give this one 3 check marks. We go to match 2, Aaron Solo and Lee Johnson, who was in the Nightmare group with Cody Rhodes and stuff, but you don't really get the feeling that it matters because nobody comes out with Lee Johnson where they all come out for each other all the time. And if Billy Gunn's supposed to be part of this, shouldn't somebody be out there with Lee Johnson? And why is he just part of Jobber Crew number 2? That seems weird to me. And I don't think that's been fully fleshed out. And it's one of those things I say about AEW all the time. They need an adult in the room. They need somebody they don't need someone to book for them. They need somebody to pick up on these details and to catch these kind of things. But they're taking on Silver and Reynolds from the Dark Order. And Silver and Reynolds win. They look good. Their weird finisher where they're hitting with this combination, and then I hit you with this, and I hit you with that, and then I power bomb the guy, and then I glide over my partner and get you in a pin. Very interesting, and it works for Dark, definitely. Silver and Reynolds win. I'll go ahead and give this 3 check marks because Lee Johnson, in his flurry of offense, looked really good, I thought, in defeat. Then we had a Leva Bates promo, which is nice to see. And this idea, she knocks the pictures off of she and Peter Avalon off of the bookshelf. She's the only librarian, and she's going to start writing her own story. Cool. A lot of librarian cliches, but I'm a big fan of Leva Bates. There's something about her that's infinitely likable, and hopefully she'll get a chance to display that at length. Then we have a commercial for the Young Bucks book, which somebody sent me, much appreciated. And if you don't already watch them, every day I'm going to go over a chapter of the book and analyze it. And I've started with the prologue and first chapter, and tomorrow morning I will do the second chapter. So we go match number 3, Michael Nakazawa versus Trent. I just got to be honest, I hate the Nakazawa thing at this point so much. I really just dislike it. Trent gets the win, as he should. The commentators definitely put over his athleticism. Your commentators, by the way, Taz, Excalibur, and Anthony Ogogo. Anthony Ogogo hangs around for the first 6 matches, and then Ricky Starks is there for most of the rest of it. Trent wins with a kind of a Shining Wizard variation, and that's that. I will give this 2 check marks. I don't think Michael Nakazawa did anything overly impressive, though he got to do his I pull my underwear off and try to use it in a mandible claw kind of thing in the face. And so they have some fun with that. Maybe I'll be nice and give him the 3 check marks. Then we get a little bit of the bubbly commercial. By the way, we get more little bit of the bubbly commercials during this thing than for anything else. In case you were wondering if Jericho was brilliant. He is. Oh, he is. Match number 4, Red Velvet against Tesha Price. This was one of my favorites. I would say I knew Red Velvet was going to win. Tesha Price I would say she's tied for doing the best job of all the enhancement talents. That's the other thing that I do besides the check system, is I usually award what enhancement talent I think does the best job. And Tesha Price stood out to me, made Red Velvet look really good. Red Velvet, that running knee, looks like a good finisher, except for the fact that so many people use the running knee. Tesha Price does a couple of really great sells during this match. Really impressed, and she's improving her kind of overall look too. I just think she looks more and more like a star, more like somebody that could be signed. Great stuff. I'll definitely keep my eye on Tesha Price. People in the past who I've sort of heaped praise on, who are now a regular part of the roster, include Red Velvet and Kylan King. It's just great stuff. Sean Spears does a segment with Tully where he gets insulted that Alex Marvez basically talks about the controversial win that he got over Scorpio Sky, and so Sean Spears is upset about that. We get that character across, and it's a good deal. Lance Archer comes out carrying a wrestler, dumps the dude down hard, and then chokeslams the piss out of him. Whatever wrestler that was that got beat up by Lance Archer, congratulations, you did a great fucking job. You really did. Jake Roberts cuts a promo. It's okay. Lance Archer kind of talks as well. And it is what it is. Match number 5, VSK and Baron Black against Private Party. I'm going to give this 3 check marks because I think they did a good job. I like Private Party's finisher here, putting the guy on the knees and then standing on top of the guy on the knees, hitting the shooting star on him. It's good, and it feels like something that they could actually execute without screwing up, which has been a problem for them in the past. Sometimes Private Party looks sloppy, but they didn't here, so 3 check marks all around. Good job, everybody. Match number 6, Roche Chanel. It's nice to see her back against Kylan King. Kylan King's finisher, which was like they call Kingdom Falls, where she picks him up like in an atomic drop position, but then they go all the way through and land face first. Looks like a great finisher, and she should keep it, and I'm so fucking happy for her. 3 check marks. Roche Chanel, I think I like her way more than a lot of the people who comment on the thing. I think she does a great job, and she does her little gimmick, and she doesn't reach too far, and she's always there to spot and to do the things that she's supposed to do, which is what you're supposed to do. And so I think Roche Chanel is great. I give this 3 check marks. Sammy Guevara in match number 7 against Marco Stunt. This match is what it is. I'm surprised Sammy didn't give Marco more, and I'm glad he did not. Hits him with the go to hell, dropping knee thing. And then Sammy cuts a promo, which is not a great promo. I really wanted it to be better. I think Sammy's really wonderful. But the point gets across that he needs to get some gold for himself, and he's someone to be reckoned with. Gotcha. A little bit of the bubbly commercial again. See what I'm saying? Match number 8, Dream Girl Ellie against Penelope Ford. Dream Girl Ellie, I'm putting her in a tie with Tesha Price for Enhancement Talent of the Week. Really great job. Really, really, really great job. Great job, Dream Girl Ellie. This is Dream Girl Ellie's best outing to date on AEW Dark against Penelope Ford, who she makes look really good. She's there for Penelope Ford stuff. Penelope Ford does this springboard into a cutter that has never looked right once. 100%. Dream Girl Ellie is the first person who got there for it and did the appropriate drop and the appropriate sell. Really great job, Dream Girl Ellie and Tesha Price. I'm definitely going to highlight that in my report. 3 check marks, needless to say. Young Bucks book advertised again. Tied with a little bit of the bubbly now. Match number 9, Lady Frost against and the Bionic Beast Jenna, who is something to behold, against Ivelisse and Diamante. I don't like that they pinned Jenna in this. I get what they were going for, but I think they do themselves a favor by protecting Jenna just a little bit in these things. Because Lady Frost, really good worker, she could have taken that pin. It would have been fine. But the Bionic Beast Jenna, I think pinning her doesn't help Ivelisse and Diamante as much as they think it does, and it just kind of kills her deal. I did like the finish, that kick into the code red on Bionic Beast Jenna. I get what they're going for. Look, we can do it to bigger people. Cool. But who does that apply on the main roster for Dynamite? There aren't big women that are baby faces. So they're not going, I don't know, man. So I'm going to give this 2 check marks, not 3, because I think they did not do a service to Lady Frost and Bionic Beast Jenna, though I think they did a good job. I don't think Ivelisse and Diamante did them any favors by pinning Jenna. Just my opinion, but that's what you tune in for, right? Adam Priest, who reminded me a lot of Jamie Noble, and that's an incredible compliment. Jamie Noble is one of these guys who is a stellar worker, and everybody I know, especially guys that I trained who worked Jamie Noble, went, oh my God, I learned so much. And he really reminds me of that same kind of energy, same kind of work rate. Really good shit, Adam Priest. Takes on Brandon Cutler. Brandon Cutler's looking good. And I don't mean just in terms of in the ring. I mean his body. I mean that tan. I mean it's fucking working for him. He looks like a star. He wins like a star. And now he's on a winning streak. Wins with the TDK. Great shit. 3 check marks. Great. Good to see Brandon Cutler getting that push. And later on, we get to see Peter Avalon, whom he teamed with and then feuded with, get a push. We got the waiting room with Britt Baker and Tay Conti. I thought a nice little interaction there between Britt Baker and Tay Conti. And then Tay refused to answer questions about her status, relationship status, and was interrupted by the Acclaimed, who, okay, I'm coming around on the Acclaimed. I get it now, because they have this rap, and it's fucking ludicrous, and it is funny as shit, and I'm feeling the Acclaimed, and I'm looking forward to watching their match. I have to admit, really, really good shit. The 11th match, see what I'm saying? Benoni, KTB, and Seth Gargis against Billy Austin and Colton Gunn. The match is standard. Billy does a good job of controlling traffic in there. They let Colton get the win with the rocker dropper, which they give a really unfortunate name that's so bad that I don't want to say it out loud. And then, so 3 check marks. Benoni, KTB, and see, Billy makes sure everybody's story gets put over, right? We're going to put over Benoni's story as like this bigger guy who's kind of on my level size-wise. I mean, I get it. I see you. Match number 12, the Panda Express, silly fucking shit against Jurassic Express. Pretty good. I mean, what can you say? Jungle Boy Jack and Luchasaurus. Luchasaurus still a great hot tag. And I like that they've gotten away from, they did the wheelbarrow cutter thing, but they didn't use it as their finisher. They had this sort of like running knee, no, like this knee thing from Luchasaurus into elbow to the back of the head from Jack Perry. And then they got the pin. Good shit. Panda Express, I would not hate seeing them again, though part of me is like, oh, this shit's so silly. And then I realized, oh yeah, I'm the guy who ran Platinum Championship Wrestling, and we did just as silly, if not sillier. So 3 check marks. Match number 13, holy shit, TH2 against Griff and Pillman Jr. Great job by Griff and Pillman Jr. here. And the right guy took the leg submission, who is Pillman Jr. So TH2 pick up the win. Pretty standard stuff here. No big fuck-ups. Pillman Jr. is tightening his work up. And Griff just continues to be great. So 3 check marks. Yeah. And we're going to have TH2 against Top Flight, apparently, on Dynamite. Cool. Cool beans, as they say. Match 14, Alex Chamberlain and Damien against the Acclaimed. The Acclaimed look better and better and better, and Alex and Damien proved to be really good foils for them to really make them look great. The rap was fucking ludicrous and funny, and the Acclaimed looked really good together. So I'm giving this 3 check marks. I'm looking forward to seeing the Acclaimed eventually against better competition, but for now I think they're in the right spot. Get these wins, tighten their shit up, and then eventually get put in with somebody else. That's awesome. Match 5, Alan, number 5, Angels against Matt Sydal. Fucking Alan Angels does a great job here. I don't consider him a jobber, so he can't be jobber of the week, but his performance was as good as anybody's in defeat this week. Really fucking good. Matt Sydal wins with this sort of like rolling, flipping STO kind of thing, except on his shoulders. It's like an angle slam. I know there's a name for it, but it's really, really late, and I just watched 3 hours almost of fucking AEW Dark. Cut me some slack. Matt Sydal wins. Does not make Alan Angels tap out. Match number 16, Pretty Peter Avalon against Fuego del Sol. Counters. The only part of this match that was clunky as fuck, which is why I'm only going to give it 2 check marks, maybe even just 1, is the finish was Fuego goes for this tornado DDT that he's famous for. Peter pushes him off, and then Fuego literally scoots himself 90 degrees and then adjusts again so he can take the double knees to the back of the head. That was fucking terrible. I can't believe they didn't reshoot it because it was so blatant about the moving bad shit. And then 17, match 17, Chaos Project, who I'm a big fan of. Evil Uno and Grayson of the Dark Order, and Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. This match worked. They all worked really well together. The finish was, Gory Guerrero into a flipping, like, cutter kind of thing on Joey Janela for the pin, so the Dark Order could win this main event. But Chaos Project looked great, and the little stories were told where Serpentico didn't want to be thrown off the top ropes. Don't throw me, and Luther throws him anyway. Little shit like that works. All 3 of them were kind of elevated through the match, so I'll give this 3 check marks. Well, a marathon of a fucking AEW Dark, but we got through it together, didn't we? And that's good, because I'm Stephen Platinum, your friend in wrestling. And this has been Platinum versus AEW Dark.